Greetings. I'm going to do a little bit of morning ink here. Not too much, just enough. So, what to say? To overcome the tedious silence that you find doing this kind of work. Storytelling. Wasn't that the whole thing? You're telling stories. And going from one point to another point to tell a story while you're drawing out a story. Well, that's something entirely different. It's like chewing gum and jump roping. And there's some difficulty in something like this here is because I'm not a very entertaining person. I enjoy the work. But the work requires something else other than just the work. And it's not work for the sake of itself. Not at all. Because you always have to ask the question, why do you do the work? It's like everything else. If there's no why, and this is the hardest question of all the questions to ever ask, why would always be the hardest question. Why do you do something? Why do you say that? And someone can always say, well, I do this because of this. Like the dog outside barking. Why does it bark? Well, because it's a dog. But that's not answering the question as to why. And maybe the question why is almost a toxic question. Because if you find yourself wrapped up too much into the why, asking why this, why that, why this, why you, why me, why they, why do they do what they do? They do it. That doesn't change anything. You get wrapped up too much into the why. Maybe the why is not answerable. To ask the question why to anything, maybe it's the hardest question to ask because it's the question that has the fewest actual answers. Making sure I'm in frame. Because here I am, I'm drawing, I'm recording this video. There's a pretense of expertness. Why else would I do this video? Why else would I take the time and the effort to select the equipment to record and then to have the pretense to record? I'd have to be an expert on something. I would have to presume that I'm entertaining. I would presume that somehow I'm a charismatic individual that warrants someone paying attention. And if not, then why do I do it? It's a tough question. And pretenses aside, the one person that often is not the person to answer the question is the person asking the question. Because when you ask the question why, regardless of what it is, why did they say that? Why did this happen? When the person is asking the question, they're front-loading the question, maybe intentionally, maybe not, with already a preconceived answer. And when they ask why, they're just looking for validation of the answer they already think they have. And so maybe the question why isn't so remarkably difficult because the question itself, but because the selection of the person asking the question. Why do people want to go to space? Why do people explore? You can look at the outcomes of these and assume a motive, a reason. Is it compulsory? Is it human nature? Is there some deep-rooted biological drive that causes people to go out into the universe of ideas, existence, and quite literally the cosmos to explore? And this is the interesting thing about storytelling, because they're not necessarily asking the question why, but they're presenting the idea that there is a why to the question. Anyway, I don't make these videos very often, so if it seems to ramble a little bit, I'm just trying to figure out why. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just making a video. Maybe I'm making a video for the sake of making a video. Who knows? But there, a little bit of morning ink. Not my best. But then again, I've never made any money off my artwork, so I can't presume to be a professional. Thank you.